Oh, I'm on a train. Look at this. It's
Oh,
a train.
so
We
where
are
you?
heading north in South Florida, heading to a graduation in the north. It's about an hour and a half, but instead of driving, Beth and I hopped on the train.
Well, I didn't know we had trains in Florida, and I grew up there.
It really works well too. Miami has like three systems.
Excellent.
Now 4, because they're doing a new one that goes to Orlando.
Oh, how fun! That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be a fast, like get to Orlando in 2 hours or something, which will be really, really fast.
Excellent, excellent.
Good. And I'll mute myself in a minute because or else you're going to hear all this, all the train announcements. Hey,
Okay.
Felipe and Lucas, both amazing guys here, Joe. Felipe, it's good to see you, sir.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm
You know
so
what? We need to work. We need to have you help us translate. Your English is so good now. Felipe was in South Africa, Joe, studying English. For how long did you stay, Felipe? 1 year?
I can't see you now. I don't know why. Okay.
I can see you.
Yes.
You won't miss much if you don't see me.
Well, how many are we expecting? Are we? It's 3 here. So should we get started, or should we wait a few minutes? Jonathan, you're kind of frozen on my end. I don't know about anybody else. Can everybody see Jonathan?
Lillian,
Hi, Lillian.
Lillian.
How are you? Well, you tell me when we're ready to go, and I can start. I don't know like how many we're expecting or who else would be coming. Okay.
Lucas, are you in Orlando right now?
Hello.
Or are you in Brazil?
Brazil.
Lucas, are you in Brazil? You're in Brazil.
Yeah, in Brazil.
Lucas just bought a pizza restaurant in Orlando, Joseph. Can you believe that? As part of a church plant strategy. It's awesome.
Well, that's wonderful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love it.
Lucas, you're just notes. Yeah, let's start and go right ahead.
All right. You want me to start? Okay. Excellent.
Sim, tem que ser em inglês ou pode ser em português?
Oh, English, Felipe. English, come on.
Eu não sou bom para falar inglês, mas eu vou tentar. Oh, okay. Jesus, we need to say thank you for everything, for all the people in this meeting now. And please, Jesus, we need your help. We need your words because we need to improve our projects. We need to improve our lives. And I think this is the time. Thank you very much. God bless everyone here. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, everybody, thank you for having me. And Jonathan and Leila, thank you so much for inviting me to come. Yeah, so. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and because we have 2 Spanish speakers, they didn't join yet, but I'll go ahead and do it in Portuguese, Joseph. Is that okay?
Oh, of course. I'll just enjoy the ride.
Gente, então o Joe. O Joe é um amigo antigo, ele é um diretor há anos em Los Angeles, e agora essa fundação está se tornando um departamento de análise de investimentos em projetos missionais a nível global, uma coisa muito especial. E ele também está fazendo o MBA dele, é um cara de liderança, casado, 2 filhos, mora em Portland. Fared.
¿Qué más? ¿Cómo están? Dios les bendiga.
Gracias, amigo, gracias. Tus hijos participando.
Señor.
Tus hijos están también participando, ¿no?
Aquí están todos, miren.
Sí.
Están...
Sí, si puedes hacer, si puedes cortar el sonido del micrófono. Tienes, buenísimo. Fared, ¿está bien? No te veo en la foto, en la cámara.
Voy a bajar.
Bien, Fared, entonces estaba hablando acerca de Joe, que tiene un tremendo experiencia de liderazgo y fue líder de la Fundación Cuadrangular por muchos años. Entonces, vamos allá, ¿no?
Sí, señor.
Vamos a iniciar. Lillian, ¿está bien? And Joseph, we can't see you.
You can't see me?
No. Can you see him, Lillian? Oh, okay, then it's just me. It's just my problem. Please, go ahead, Lillian. Go ahead, Joe. Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for having me. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to pause for translation here, Jonathan, or if I can just go ahead in English.
No. Do a pause and Lillian will translate. Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, thanks, everybody, for having me, like for the 3rd time. I'm sure you understand that part.
Thank you very
much. It's really an honor of mine. I love to be around entrepreneurs. I think you all have heard of the Apple Store, yes? The Apple Store? So you know where they sell iPhones? Maybe you've been to one. Maybe not. But they're really, really nice stores. They're very clean. It's very organized. They're making lots of money. Lots of vision and creativity. And that's how I feel when I'm around entrepreneurs. It's the same as going to the Apple Store. To think of all of the creativity that we have just in this chat room today is very exciting to me. So Jonathan asked me to talk to you a little bit about team building. And I have worked on many teams, obviously, in my professional career. I've built a few teams myself, as I'm sure many of you have. it's probably the most important skill to learn in building a business. Because it's very personal. If it's not very personal, it will be hard for you to conduct business that is both successful, impactful, and fun. You know that the number one reason that people leave or quit a job it isn't because of bad wages or no benefits. It's because they had a bad manager who wasn't very good at building a team. So that's why I asked Leila to share the book with you that I asked her to share on the 5 dysfunctions of a team. And I believe it was Emotional 2.0, wasn't it? That one, the EQ book as well. I think that's what I sent you, Leila. Now I'm forgetting what I sent you. I thought it was those 2, yeah? StrengthsFinder, sure. And I hope all of you had a chance to take the survey. I don't know if I know they have one in Portuguese. That may have been difficult for you to find, but they have one in Spanish and Portuguese as well. Now I'm going to ask you a question, and don't feel bad. I just want to make sure that what I'm talking to you about stays relevant to you. But wave to me in your camera if you were able to take the survey. Oh, very nice, Philippe. Okay. Lucas, don't feel ashamed. No one else feels shamed by that. The StrengthsFinder is personal to you. So it's a very used survey by a lot of companies in the US and around the world. So I won't spend a lot of time talking about that. Just to say, I'm going to talk to you really about 3 things today. Yeah, we can translate that, yeah. I'm going to talk to you about what it is to know yourself, to know others, and to find people that are the right fit for your business. A man named Jim Collins wrote a book called Good to Great. Good to Great.
Bom, excelente, eu acho, em português. Do bom para o excelente, algo assim. Só verifica, Farid, que ele está entendendo, que ele está podendo te entender, Lily. Joe, we're just making sure that the speaker is being able to understand us well.
Okay.
Se pregunta, Farid, ¿está comprendiendo las cosas?
Sí, pero el nombre del libro ahorita no entendí cómo se llama.
Pasamos después, pero creo que es
Ok.
de bueno al excelente, algo así.
Ok. Gracias.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
No problem. So in Good to Great, in this book, Collins studies why companies that are successful are actually successful. He wanted to discover what characteristics there were, or common characteristics there were of a successful company. And one of the things that he discovered was that the right people were doing the right jobs. And you really have to be a student, become a student of people. Well, when all of you have successful companies, and you have 1,000 employees apiece, each, then you need to find a way to know about people, and for each one of them to feel known by you.
Farid, hermano, necesitas mute. Y buenísimo. Perfecto. Gracias.
So,
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So, the StrengthsFinder survey is useful for 2 reasons. Number 1, it tells you about you. And number 2, you can use that survey with your teams to build a common experience. When you know the strengths of your team members, and they know your strengths, you can minimize conflict in a team. Do you understand? Does this make sense to you? For instance, my strengths from the StrengthsFinder, my top 5, all 5 of my top 10 strengths, the top 5, are all strategy. They're ideation and innovation and strategic. So I'm really good in a planning room or a room that's there to be creative with new ideas. I'm not so great in a room where I have to do something about it. I have to bring people around me that are really good at execution. That way we can get the job done well together. So that's StrengthsFinder. A common experience for your team. It's a good tool. And there are lots of tools out there to use, many, many different kinds. I'm pulling up my notes, so give me one moment.
Sorry, Joe.
No, it's okay.
Amigo Fared está compreendendo. I'm just checking with Fared to make sure he's understanding, Joe. ¿Está bien, amigo? ¿Tú comprendes? Bueno, okay. Gracias.
So I wanted to, this is a quote from one of my professors when I was in a business, getting my business degree. And it's worth writing down. Your weakness is your strength. Always used, never used, or used in the wrong context. Excuse me, I said never used, it's overused. It's always used.
Sempre usado.
Overused. Or used in the wrong context. So the things that you think are the weakest about you are actually when your strengths are not used appropriately. For example, if all I talk about is strategy and never execution, if all I do is inspire, but never actually do the work, then nothing will happen. So when we're building teams, we need to learn to appreciate the strengths and weaknesses of our team members and ourselves. But building a team starts with you. You need to know more than anyone on your team and be very confident and secure in what you're good at and where you need help. There's actually a name for that. The Harvard buzzword for that is emotional intelligence. I just say it's called self-awareness. Many studies have shown and proven over time that the only difference between being a manager and an executive or a low-level hourly employee and the CEO of a company is self-awareness. There are people who become CEOs who are not very self-aware. But their lives are a wreck. and they don't last very long in the same company. You can also tell a company that has a leader that isn't self-aware by the culture of the company, and how excited people are to actually work there. So I hope this gives you a framework about why I would recommend that book and that tool of StrengthsFinder for you to have a starting point if you don't have one already. So I said before, we'll talk about 3 things, and we've already talked about one of them, and that is how you as a person need to know who you are. And there are 3 things that make a really good team player.
Membro de equipe.
It would be you're humble. Humility always factors into a good team player. And you are you're hungry. That means that you're really excited to learn more about the business that you're in and really dive into the team. You really want to be a contributor. You're hungry for more. And you're smart. Now, if you take one away from those 3 things, it can be a disaster. For instance, if you have someone who's only humble and they aren't hungry and they aren't smart, then all you get is just a very happy person. But nothing gets done. If you have someone that's only hungry and they're not humble and they're not smart, that's the most difficult person to work with. Because they're only out for their own success. They don't care what anybody else around them thinks. The hungry only person has all of the answers. They're typically very driven.
Eu diria muito
they're hardworking.
motivados, agressivos.
But that's it. Many times their teams under them, they feel used, and they feel that there's no way for them to go anywhere. And then if you have a smart person who is neither humble or hungry, all they are is smart, sometimes they can still be a contributor because they have lots of information. They're a little bit easier to deal with than just the hungry person. But there's still a person that you are going to have to really push toward execution. And they're always the smartest person in the room. They can be very condescending.
Que desprezam os outros. Eu sou mais arrogante, talvez.
When you work for someone who's only smart, you always feel like they're talking down to you. Your opinion or your perspective, there's no room for it. So in the middle, if you can picture, and I had a, let me just share a diagram I have with for you of this.
It's fine to show it, Joe. I think they would. It's nice.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay. Sorry,
well
everybody.
done diagram.
It's that was Wayfair calling me. You needed to know that. Okay, stand by.
Fun.
I have no idea why they're calling me. Sorry, I'm just figuring out how to do this. I've used Zoom many times, and for some reason, it's just a little bit different, the interface. So I'm getting there.
No problem. Amigo Farid, ¿está bien? Compreendendo todo, amigo. Él está hablando ahora de los tres componentes de un equipo, de un buen miembro de equipo. Él va a mostrar un gráfico.
Okay, there it is. All right, almost there, friends. There we go. Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. So
it's a little to the side, right? Lillian is yours. There. Perfect.
How's that? Does that work?
Beautiful.
So if you think about this in a diagram, now, can you see my cursor? So the ideal team player, if I could draw a circle in the middle, they would exhibit characteristics of humility, intelligence, and hunger or drive. So you're looking for someone with all three. But I said before, you're looking to be the person that exemplifies all three to the team. These characteristics have been hard for me. If I put myself on the diagram, many people view me as either humble or smart. But deep down inside, I'm really the difficult guy. I'm the hungry guy. So I've had to learn how to watch my mouth. And I believe that we're all Christians, and we all Christians in this group.
Yeah.
So as a believer, we want to watch what we say, right? In anything. So that's the idea of you learning about you. And did I actually recommend 5 dysfunctions of a team, or didn't I, Layla? I did. Has anybody read that before?
That's super useful. So many bad titles.
Are we good? Okay. I also wanted to show you this. This is a really good diagram. So we're moving away from kind of the ideal team player. And what I wanted to do is talk a little bit more about you as well. And so what you have is 4 quadrants in front of you. If you can imagine an X and Y axis. And this is the Johari window of self-awareness. So up in the top left, it says what I know about me. That's what I know about myself. It's also what everyone sees with their eyes when they're looking at me. If you move to the top right side of the quadrant, it's what others know about me that I don't know about myself. And that would be where you have a blind spot in your own character and leadership. The bottom right, it says what I don't know about me and no one else knows either. And I don't think that Johari was a Christian. But for Christians, that's the area where God knows you better than you know yourself. And the bottom left is what I only know about me that no one else knows. So this is Lillian, Joseph. Yes, Lillian, we commit to send that in Portuguese or Spanish. Is that okay? I want to tell everybody so they don't like they have to try to figure it out right now in English. Could you mention that, Lillian? Thanks. You know, when we're building teams and we're leading people, there are times that we make decisions and we get an unexpected outcome. We make a decision that we think was a really good one. But people on our team did not have the reaction that we wanted them to have. And this is a very good tool to refer back to see what where on the quadrant your decision or the emotion that motivated the decision that you made would fall. And the results can be very surprising sometimes. One would think that all of the good decisions would be in the top left quadrant. But many times, it's in the bottom right. Sure. So it's a good tool. Again, another tool to use to build your self-awareness. The more self-aware you become, the easier you are to follow. The more healthy you become as a leader, the more healthy your team will be. So we have to learn to be open, to have our decisions challenged, to welcome input, to live transparently. And when we do that, you will also learn better about the team that you have around you, or the team that you're building. It sounds a lot like the community of God, doesn't it? Jesus modeled for us servant leadership. That is not the way the world wants you to build a team. We tend to be more about control than we are about partnership and collaboration. The human heart has to work hard to be open. I'm going to shift now. So we've talked a little bit about the right fit. That would be kind of, the ideal team player. We talked about you knowing yourself. And now I want to talk about knowing a little bit about others. So in the book that I recommended, the 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, we only really have time to talk about one of the 5 characteristics. But it's a really good one. It's the foundation for really any relationship, and you can build on it. And it's trust. No one likes to be on a team where they don't trust their teammates. When you think of great sports stories, team sports, We have lots of movies in the U.S. I'm sure that you've maybe seen, like, you know, Hoosiers or Facing the Giants. Yeah. And the end of the movie that is usually very happy where they win the game. They always had to overcome lack of trust. So I wanted to go through some characteristics of trust. And I made this chart for us. Again, another tool for you. And on the left side, it says trust builders. And on the right side is trust killers. So we'll go through the trust builders first. If you want to build trust, there is always transparency. Do you know that you can tell a toxic person because they will never, ever let you really see who they are? They never really admit that they're at fault. They always have to be in control. And they're afraid that as soon as they acknowledge a weakness or a fault, that they're gonna lose authority. In areas where there's trust, there's always follow through. You do what you say you're gonna do. The ideation guy, the guy who's all strategy like me, I have to work to inspire trust in other people. Honesty. People that build trust are honest with you. You never feel like they're. Yeah, go ahead. You never feel like they're holding back or they're only sharing with you part of the truth to protect themselves. And you know this when you're dealing with teams and you're dealing with people, that there's a person who only kind of lets just a little bit of a partial truth. They also don't make things sound better than they are. Another trust builder is advocacy, and that's when you stand up for a teammate. Can you say it a different way?
It broke up. I couldn't hear Lillian. It broke up. I'm sorry. Well, Joe, what was it?
Advocacy, and I said it's when you stand up for a teammate. Or if you are if you're kind of middle management in a company, and
no meio, né, da gerência, no meio de gerência.
and you have a team that's working for you, but you also have a team that's above you, your team feels that you advocate on their behalf, not just your own. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to skip over to some trust killers. Some of the biggest ones that I've dealt with in my career are people who are passive aggressive. Have you heard that term before? It means that they never really tell you what they feel about you. Everything's always great. But they will do things to try to show you how they feel about you by the way they treat you, instead of just communicating how they're feeling about your performance. Jonathan and I have talked a lot about being around passive aggressive leaders. With someone who is passive aggressive, instead of being fired or let go from a job, you find yourself uninvited to meetings. Sure, you find yourself uninvited instead of being let go. You remain in the company, so you still have a job, but you find yourself uninvited to certain meetings that you once attended. Sorry. People who take credit for the work that someone else did. People who gossip, people who talk behind other people's backs. Gossip is the #1 team killer. And I have a mentor who started as kind of the CEO leader of a company, of a nonprofit. Well, it was actually a church. He took a church. And the team had a really bad problem with gossip. And he found out that it was really centered around one person. And he told that person privately, and he told the team publicly, that if anyone gossiped anymore, he was gonna fire them, and he was going to drag their desk out into the parking lot and set it on fire. Two days later, that same person was caught gossiping about another teammate. And he fired them. And he dragged their desk out into the parking lot and set it on fire. And they did not have much of a problem with gossip on the team ever again. So you see the difference. That leader exhibited follow-through. Honesty. Clear communication. Dependability.
Confiabilidade.
Transparency. You see, and he earned the trust of the entire team. They thought he was kidding. He was not kidding. So I'm going to stop there. We're almost done with our time together. I hope this has been helpful for you. I tried to come up with tools that, I know that Jonathan and Lilo worked to translate some of these things that are just really my fault for being last minute. But really, the intent was to hand you something that you could refer back to and reflect on as you become the awesome leaders I know that God has called you to be. So I'll open for any questions, and maybe we have about 10 minutes for questions.
Perfect, Joe. So that's wonderful. And that's a great format, and we'll encourage some questions. Vamos lá, Lilian. Perfeito. Vamos ter perguntas e comentários. ¿Alguma pergunta? ¿Algún comentario? Farid, também puedes perguntar algo, amigo.
Posso fazer? Tá, então você traduz aí porque
só um minutinho, Joe. If you stop sharing your screen,
then
sure. It'll show everybody on. Forgot to mention that. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. That's great. It just means I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. So hang on a second.
Lillian knows. Lillian, how do we do it? I don't remember either.
Let's see. Oh, got it. There it is. Thank you.
Então você traduz para mim, tá? Eu fiquei com uma não é uma dúvida, é uma pergunta com comentário, assim. Ele falou sobre esses últimos 3 pontos, onde ele falou sobre a humildade no líder, a fome e a inteligência, correto? A minha pergunta é, hoje, ele falou que ele tinha dificuldade em alguns pontos, ele trabalhou, né? Hoje, ele pode dizer que ele é esse líder que tem essas 3 capacidades ao mesmo tempo. E a outra pergunta...
I don't think I am. And maybe that's part of being humble, is that you never get to a place of complacency on learning how to be a better leader. It's almost like and this is just being a Christian. Jesus was the ideal. And so I can stand with someone like Paul, who says, I press toward the mark of the high calling. I haven't achieved it all, but I'm pressing on. And you can have a confidence in that. You can develop your skill and your knowledge, and even learn how to be more humble, or be more driven. You can learn how to be better in all those things. But the moment you think you have arrived, is a very dangerous place. I have a mentor that called that being in your heyday. Jonathan, can you help me with that? Being in one's heyday, like in the best place possible? Like you've achieved it
mais
all.
ou menos assim, estar no lugar ideal, achar que está, né, na perfeição, no lugar ideal.
And if you work around people enough, you will recognize when someone thinks they've arrived. And they never last very long. There have been times in my life where I thought I had arrived. And the fall was hard. So I think it's part of being self-aware, that difference between being just an employee versus being a CEO, someone who's a follower and a leader. That's self-awareness. And it factors into how you build a team. Someone who is not very self-aware is typically not ready for management. They may need more training. They might be right for a lower level task-oriented type position. But it's fun to watch when people begin to learn to be more self-aware. And we have to have the humility, even when someone rises and could possibly do our job better than we can. And still be secure in who we are. So I hope that answers your question, but that was personal to me, and that would be my answer.
Não, mas não é outra. Acho que dentro disso mesmo é um comentário. Então, que ele quer. Então, digamos que uma receita de sucesso, de uma liderança de sucesso, seria constantemente a gente está se analisando se a gente se encontra nesses 3 pontos e tentar ser uma coisa igualitária. É isso?
Like assessing and evaluating ourselves.
That's right. Absolutely. And I mean, you guys know this is review time for you. But it's good to have a refresher, a reminder, especially among colleagues, a safe place to talk about it.
And Joseph,
which one owns the pizza company?
Lucas.
Lucas, do you build teams in your business?
Sim, ainda a pizza não está funcionando. Hoje eu tenho 3 franquias aqui no Brasil e as minhas equipes, elas, embora são em 3 lugares diferentes, elas são geridas por uma pessoa especializada em metas e tem dado muito certo.
Franchises.
Oh, good. That's great. Well, if I'm going to kind of, maybe we could go around, Jonathan and Leila, and maybe ask everybody this question, but I'm interested in knowing what they do, like what their business is, and maybe one thing that that they got out of this discussion that they feel like maybe they could implement in their sphere of influence.
Great question.
So maybe Lucas, we'll start with Lucas and then Juliana and then Felipe and then Fayed.
Pera aí, gente, só um minuto, que chegou um pessoal aqui. Eu vou começar a tocar um piano aqui, daí eu tô subindo aqui pra gente bater um papo. Só um minuto. Pronto.
Oh, let's give him a moment. Let's give him a second. Maybe we can ask for Red.
Yeah, he's there. Fared.
Pode falar.
Lucas can go ahead. O Fared.
Perdón. Bueno, igual, digamos, en cuanto a los puntos charlados, digamos, para mí ha sido muy bueno porque se hablaba algo de que a veces uno no acepta, digamos así, la opinión de las demás personas y que uno tiene que ser humilde y aceptarla, si así se puede decir, lo que los demás digan de uno, que eso es algo, o recibirlo de una manera constructiva y no de una manera destructiva. Es como, digamos, mirar lo que los demás piensan de uno, ¿sí? Porque a veces uno cree ser, o saber todas, si se puede decir, en lo que uno hace o se desenvuelve.
You're gonna have to summarize. Excellent.
Bueno, el proyecto que yo tengo es para comercializar productos electrónicos. Y también la parte de mantenimiento y reparación de equipos electrónicos.
Oh, excellent. That's a good business.
Entonces, digamos que ahí también debe haber mucha confiabilidad en la parte de reparación y mantenimiento para que las personas puedan tomar los servicios que uno presta o recibir los servicios que uno presta.
That's right. Absolutely. That's great. How about you? Are you ready?
Pronto. Tá. Vamos lá. Hoje eu estou desenvolvendo 2 projetos. O primeiro deles é esse novo negócio nos Estados Unidos que engloba uma pizzaria junto com com buffet.
Like catering.
Oh, catering. Yeah, sure. Awesome.
E eu tenho um casal, uma família que tem desenvolvido isso aí. E aqui no Brasil, eu posso dar direto ou você já quer traduzir isso? Tá.
There has to be a lot of trust there, right? If you have a business that's not, proximate to you, you've got to have a lot of trust on your team.
Sim. Esse casal é da nossa igreja aí e além da compatibilidade de raciocínio em termos de negócio, a confiança ela foi construída de uma maneira bem legal e entendendo que Deus está no propósito.
Amen. That's great.
Amém.
I love it.
E agora o segundo projeto eu estou encarando ele como o maior projeto da minha vida, porque ele tem como a parte mais importante o propósito em si. E ele começou exatamente por conta dessa iniciativa com o Jonatas, em relação ao que está acontecendo agora, de que países que não estão mais tão abertos a missões, mas continuam liberando os vistos e abertura para novos negócios.
So many things start with Jonathan. I just want to point that out. That's brilliant.
E alguns meses atrás, eu comecei a conhecer um novo tipo de café. Aqui no Brasil, a gente tem desenvolvido um paladar para cafés especiais, um novo jeito de tomar café. Você também gosta?
Ah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Tá havendo no Brasil hoje um boom dessas novas cafeterias. E surgiu no meu coração um projeto sobre começar um negócio onde o foco principal era treinar missionários para poder servir um bom café.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Let's yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you just
Posso continuar? E levando em consideração que no varejo o nosso objetivo principal são pessoas, e no ministério nosso objetivo principal também são pessoas, unir o útil ao agradável. Então, a experiência gerada, né, nesse novo tipo nesse novo modo de tomar um café é o que vai trazer o grande impacto e o que vai trazer a abertura para um evangelho simples e nada de agressivo.
That's a great plan.
Eu estou abrindo meu...
Great plan.
Real quick, just to mention, I'm so sorry, but Felipe is going to have to leave. Lucas, can Felipe talk real quick about his project before he leaves?
I'd like to also hear from Juliana as well, but go ahead.
Yeah, just before Lucas has to, Felipe has to leave.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Bom, posso falar? O meu projeto, ele não é atualmente, eu não me inscrevi com um projeto de business, por mais que eu tenha, mas o meu projeto que eu me inscrevi é com imigrantes, né? Sim. E o que mais me chamou a atenção hoje na aula é porque eu tenho passado por um momento de avaliação na minha liderança pessoal com a minha equipe, e esses pontos ali são muito, muito importantes e eu tenho tentado trabalhar principalmente em mim, como líder de grupo, né? Identificando a minha liderança, mas principalmente os pontos que eu vejo que eu preciso trabalhar para que, às vezes eu identifico que os projetos que eu preciso, para que os alavanques os projetos, trabalhar em mim esses pontos, entendeu? Bom, mas eu acho que é isso daí. Os princípios da aula é aquilo que eu tenho tentado, vem de encontro, não conflita com aquilo que eu tenho trabalhado. É realmente aquilo que eu preciso, porque eu vejo que a minha equipe, a gente sempre vai ter desafios, né, na nossa equipe, mas eu acho que o maior desafio da nossa equipe somos nós mesmos como líderes, né, como CEO numa empresa ou como eu acho que o nosso maior desafio está em nós mesmos, e eu acho que a aula de hoje ela me esclarece vários pontos que eu vou daqui para frente começar a trabalhar para me tornar um líder melhor e aplicar isso dentro do meu projeto.
English. You're doing great, Lillian. You're doing great.
Amen. Amen. We all are. Let's do it together. Yeah, let's hear from Liliana too. Or is it Juliana? Liliana? I always get your name wrong. I think
There's Juliana and Lillian.
Did she go to convention last year or something? One of you did.
Yes, Juliana was at convention last year. Yes.
Okay, that's where I met you. Hi. So what's your project? What are you working on?
Yeah, actually, I'm just here to help with the incubator class too. Yes,
okay,
because
cool.
I participated of the first class we had, and I had a lot of projects. But now I'm working with Business as Mission with Jonathan and the global team. But now I'm just here to learn more. And oh my goodness, what a class! How many thoughts of wisdom! Oh my goodness, thank you so much for everything. I'm just excited. And actually, I have a lecture to do it tomorrow, and I'll use if
take it all. Take it all.
Thank you.
Could we send her the PowerPoint, Joe? Can we send her the PowerPoint?
Whatever you want.
My goodness, amazing. Thank you.
I just I would say this, that it sounds to me like your project is this. It sounds to me like your project is helping entrepreneurs get better at business, get better at mission. And I have to tell you that is actually becoming very big business.
Yeah.
The entrepreneurial incubators around the world are springing up, and mostly, and I hate to say this to you men on the call, but it's mostly women. In the United States, I went to a conference called Plywood People. It's in Atlanta.
Joe, we should maybe just translate for the guys.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Just só faz resumo aí pequeno.
I forgot. I totally forgot.
No. That's okay. That's okay. We'll give them the news. Lillian can give them the news that that it's all about women.
Do you want me to say it again? I could just say it again, and then we could translate. You got it? Okay. So at this conference, it was 3,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
All of them entrepreneurs. 90% women.
Wow.
90. Between the ages of 25 and 35. They're tired of waiting to get hired.
Yeah.
And they're just going to go do it.
Yeah.
To me, even as, you know, from my background, that's very exciting. I've worked for 2 women in my life. One of them was my mother, so I'm not sure she counts. Both of them were excellent business people.
Empresárias.
Excellent leaders. So that's a fun conversation, maybe for another time. But it's so cool to see this incubation happening. The fact that we're on a call together talking about this together is really, really fun. So thanks.
Amen.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you all. I know that we're probably out of time. I love you all. Oh my goodness. I'll be praying for you and your businesses. God will just bless you.
Joe, thank you so much. Lillian, thank you. Juliana, thank you for helping as well. Lucas, Felipe, Fared, gracias, Fared, por escuchar a todo este portugués, mi amigo. Perdónanos, pero gracias y espero que haya sido de bendición para ustedes. Es un privilegio y vamos a orar, ¿ok? Hey, Joe, why doesn't Juliana pray? We'll have a woman pray with all the anointing and pray for you and pray for the class. And is that okay? Is that okay, Juliana?
Yeah, Portuguese, Spanish, or English.
Perfect.
Pray. Use both. You can do both. Do the part about Joe. You can do in English, and then the rest you can do in Portuguese.
Oh my!
Just do it all in Portuguese. Just do all Portuguese. I don't. I can.
Okay?
I'll stand with the spirit of it all.
Amen.
Vamos estar orando, tá bom, gente? Deus abençoe cada um de vocês. Parabéns pelo tempo, Lilian. Obrigado pela tradução. E Joe, thank you so much. This was wonderful stuff.
My honor.
Wonderful conversation.
Pai, nós te damos graças por essa noite tão especial, por esse tempo precioso. Obrigada, meu Deus, pela vida do Jonathan e estes amigos ao redor do mundo que têm nos feito crescer tanto, Pai. Nós nunca poderíamos pagar pelo conhecimento que o Senhor tem nos dado através dessas aulas. Muito obrigada, meu Deus, por essa oportunidade, que o Senhor continue levantando pessoas que venham realmente mudar a nossa vida, mudar as nossas estratégias para que a gente alcance esse mundo dentro desse tempo, dentro desse momento. Nós pedimos também a tua bênção muito especial, Senhor, sobre os nossos professores, sobre todos esses que têm contribuído, meu Deus, que eles sejam recompensados de uma maneira sobrenatural e a tua bênção esteja não somente sobre eles, mas sobre cada aluno e cada projeto, que nós possamos ver os frutos deste trabalho, deste empenho, dessas tarefas que eles têm realizado, Pai. Nós te damos graças, Senhor, e pedimos mais uma vez a tua bênção sobre a incubadora e te agradecemos em nome de Jesus. Amém.
Amém, amém, amém.
God bless you all.
Joseph, thank you. Deus abençoe muito. Abração, Fared. Gracias, amigo.
God bless you guys.
Gracias. Dios les bendiga a todos.
Bendiciones.
Bye bye, gracias. Bendiciones.
Tchau, um abraço.
Bye bye.